Hi, welcome back to the Faithful Divinity. Thank you for being here, tuning in. I really appreciate it. Mainly, this is to help you guys. So, I'm glad that I can be here speaking what is going on in my life, and relating it to to God, basically. And I have a little story to tell. I will be telling the story at the end of the video. Um, but this video today is about redemption and always knowing. I'm gonna read off my journal here that I wrote down just because I don't want to lose train of thought or anything like that. So I'm just going to read off what I wrote. Always knowing that God will redeem anything that you lost is faith. Even the things you weren't able to get are included in this. He will give you the thing you lost or the thing you wanted. But when he does, it will be better. Similar, but better than you thought or imagined. So similar, but better than you thought or imagined. And I know this through personal experience, and I also wrote down some scriptures that relate to this. So we have Isaiah 1 verse 20, Isaiah 1 verse 21 through 31, Isaiah 43 verse 1 through 7, and Lamentations 3 verse 55 through 66. And I know that there's more, but these are just the few that I wrote down. And I also have the Bible here in front of me, and I was thinking about reading the verses, but you can also Google them as well. I'll probably read Lamentations, just because that one I felt like really spoke to me. So I'm sure that it'll spark something in y'all. Let me see. I know it's been a while since I have made a video. I mean, it's only been like a week. So that's good. But yeah, I've been going through just like a lot of healing lately. A lot of spiritual transformation lately this past week, going on 2 weeks. So just kind of like, taking it easy and still doing what I have to do, but also like giving myself the time and the grace that I need in order to not burn out, because my personality is definitely like go, go, go. And so with that, I can take on a lot of things and I can burn out really quickly. So I've just been like, taking it easy, especially with all of this. I'm calling it shedding, because I feel like I'm shedding literally, like, not literally shedding, but like I feel like I'm shedding layers of my old self. And while it does feel really good, it feels rejuvenating, at the same time, I'm tired. So I've just been, giving myself grace, like I mentioned. So here we are in Lamentations, and I'm going to go to 3 verse 55 through 66. Okay, God's redeeming power. I called upon thy name, O Lord, out of the low dungeon. Thou hast heard my voice. Hide not thine ear at my breathing, at my cry. Thou drewest near in the day that I call upon thee. Thou saidst, fear not. O Lord, thou hast pleaded the causes of my soul. Thou hast redeemed my life. O Lord, thou hast seen my wrong. Thou hast ceased. O Lord, thou hast seen my wrong. Judge thou my cause. Thou hast seen all their vengeance and all of their imaginations against me. Thou hast heard their reproach, O Lord, and all their imaginations against me, the lips of those that rose up against me, and their device against me all the day. Behold, their sitting down and their rising up, I am their music. Render unto them a recompense, O Lord. Render unto them a recompense, O Lord, according to the work of their hands. Give them sorrow of heart, thy curse unto them. Persecute and destroy them in anger from under the heavens of the Lord. So, that one really, I feel like related to what I was going through today. We just live in such a judgmental and sick and really cruel world. And I always knew that, as a little girl, I always knew that the world was evil, but that my path is beautiful. I always knew that my own personal world was beautiful. And so that's why, a lot of people judged me for being ditzy or they would call me, they would say, not that I was out of touch, but they would just say, that I wasn't really, my spirit is very, I'm just free-spirited. I really love to, just do things in the spur of the moment and stuff. Not really so much anymore, but my spontaneous ways are still within me, just because that is my natural spirit. But I have learned how to become more responsible with that side of me, just because, being spontaneous has led me to a lot of trouble. And so I've learned how to steer myself into being more grounded, into being more responsible with my actions. And so going back to people just being very judgmental of free-spirited people, of people who are even just good people, and people who see the goodness of life, right? Even though there's so much evil, we can still see all of the goodness. And so people have judged me a lot for that, and people kind of take advantage of that, honestly. I've gotten taken advantage of a lot of different ways, and unfortunately those people, they took advantage of my heart, really, and they also took advantage of God, and I don't wish any ill towards them or against them. I'm just, honestly, I've always just lived my own life and minded my own business and went through the pain on my own. But I always believed in karma. I always just let God handle the situation. And it's just like kind of interesting because like looking back, I wasn't really ever into prayer. I wasn't ever my family is Catholic and I'm Catholic, and I went to church like here and there and for the holidays like Christmas and Easter, but other than that, it was not in my own doing to ever like get on my knees and pray. It was never a part of my daily routine. And so I don't really know like where the natural instinct always came from, like, oh, I'll just like let the universe handle it. I'll just like let karma do its thing. I will just let God do his thing, and that was always just like the way that I dealt with my issues. Granted, there were some times like in my intimate relationships where I tried to control the situation just because of like childhood trauma, dealing with love and like my own insecurities, and being a child of separated parents and like toxic love. So like once I got into my own intimate relationship, I definitely was like why, like, we have to solve this issue right now, like really just taking control of something and like having it be turned into something so much greater, and like why can't you just see that I love you so much, like all of that stuff. So definitely that was those were times when I wasn't like oh, just like let karma do it. But other than that, yeah, like with other people and stuff, definitely. And today as well, like God always just handles everything so beautifully, and I'm always so impeccably like astonished, honestly, by how much strength he has. Because not only is he watching over my life, he's watching over your life. He's watching over her, his, hers, theirs, like all of these people who are faithful to him. He's watching all of our lives, and he knows exactly the calculations of everything in each of our lives, and he knows exactly what to do next. He has a plan for all of us, and I'm just always so like fascinated by his time and his energy for all of us. And going back to being a little girl, like in my childhood, I was always thinking about that, like, because I knew who God was. I knew the whole like I knew like the vague story, right? I didn't know like all of the characters of the Bible or anything like that. I just mainly knew like the main situation, right? But I was always so infatuated and like curious about that. Like, how does that even work? Like how is that possible? And just like so incredibly amazed by it. And so that was why I always was like, I guess, like my thoughts kind of always got drawn back into like, what are we here for? Like, what is our purpose? Like us humans, like we didn't just, like our story has a meaning behind it. Our story, humanity has a purpose behind it, and like what is it? And And like, where did we come from? You know, so I was always just like very curious. And, you know, now coming back full circle, being 26 now, and after a lot of drug use and toxicity, and just a lot of like really sad, a lot of sadness. I'm coming back full circle to okay, really what is going on, and peeling off all the layers one by one, little by little, knowing that it takes time, but also knowing that I'm on a good path and that I want to stay the course, and I want to keep discovering what's next for me, for my own personal life, and just knowing and believing that God always has my back as long as I'm obeying his word the best that I can. Of course, sometimes I'm going to make a mistake in a way where it's like maybe my discernment might be off, and I maybe didn't hear him correctly, so like something like that where I may not obey, or like be obedient, right? Because like I'm still learning how to know for sure like that was God's word. Okay, I'm gonna do this now. But like I'm starting to strengthen the feeling of it, the feeling of the discernment of like, okay, I need to do this next. I need to do this now. And then applying that with discipline. And then just doing that over and over and over and over again. I know that God has my back. I know it. I know it. I know it. I know it because I've seen it so many times. Even when I wasn't faithful, I've seen it. Like he reached out for me and pulled me up. And so I know that he is there and he's real. And I want to say a little story to kind of regroup this whole episode today, because I was at the mall and I've been wearing this pair of sneakers that are not so white anymore, okay? I've worn them quite a lot, let's just say like every day, and sorry, there's a disruption outside. And so I'm like, you know, I have the money right now to go get some sneakers. Let me just go get a new pair of some fresh white sneakers because I love the look of a fresh white sneak. And so I go to the mall and I don't know, I just had this feeling like, you know, I don't really care to get these right now. Like I don't know what it was. It was, I mean, obviously it was probably my humility a little bit. Maybe it was like I wanted to save that money for something else. Like, you know, I just, and I reflected. I did a lot of reflection. Excuse me, I kind of have like the hiccups a little bit. I kind of, I did a reflection in the store, like thinking about the times when I would go shopping for a new pair of shoes and like be so happy that I got a new pair of shoes, right? And just feeling like really joyful, like yeah, like now I get to wear these new pairs of shoes and I'm so excited. I'm gonna wear them with this outfit and they're gonna look so cute like this, and like, you know, the same thing with the clothes, the same thing with the bags, the hair accessories, like all that. And just like really reflecting on the times when I would be so validated by materialistic things. Like I remembered, yeah, just like all those times, you know? And then so comparing it to today, like I returned things instead of buying things because I was just like, you know, I have clothes right now to wear. Like, you know, and I think like a part of me wanted to get some new clothes just to kind of like, I'm trying to like develop a new style for myself. I'm entering into a new phase in my life, and you know, having my second child, I'm feeling like switching up my style a little bit. But you know, something that I'm hearing right now is don't rush. You know, like there's no need to rush into it. Like the style is going to come, the new wardrobe is going to come. Don't rush it. The new sneakers will come. And so yeah, I got the shoes. Okay, going back to the shoes. So I got the shoes, and they're affordable for me. Like I have the money to get them. Okay, so I want to state that because that is, you know, a part of the context of the story. And so I got my size. The lady came out, and and I was just kind of like looking around the store, pondering a little bit. And that was one clue for me right there. I was like, I'm not jumping to the register with these shoes, right? I'm not like so excited to get them. You know, even though I've been thinking about getting a new pair of white sneakers for about like 2 months now, I'm not rushing to the register to purchase these shoes. And so I was looking at some sneakers for my son, and you know, ultimately coming to the conclusion that neither of us need shoes. Like he actually has some shoes in his closet that I'm waiting for him to grow into. So I'm like, okay, that's done. And for me, I can wear something until there's a hole in it, you know, and I feel like that's what I'm going to do with these sneakers until the sole has, you know, a chip in it or something, or there's a hole in my toe. Like, I'm not going to get a new pair of shoes. Like, you know, and then I started also pondering what's the reason why I want a new pair of fresh white sneakers, right? What is the validation I'm trying to seek out of this? Is this external validation? Is this because I want people to look at me, you know, when I'm walking down the street or at the store and being like, oh, she has fresh white sneakers, so she's financially well? You know, is it because I want my boyfriend to look at my new clothes and be like, okay, she's stable, she's secure, her clothes are clean, you know, like they're super fresh. Um, so it's like I was just thinking about like all of these external factors of why I was going to get these shoes, because I know for me personally, like I could easily just wear the shoes that I have right now, and like I really don't care. I really don't care. So I knew that me getting these new pair of fresh white sneakers was just for me to feel welcomed by other people. And then I started doing an even deeper reflection. Like, you know what? If people are going to judge me and if people want to include me in their circle just because I have fresh white sneakers on, that's a problem. I am a good person and I know who I am inside my heart. My soul is good, my heart is good, and and I'm faithful to God. God knows that I'm good. And it shouldn't matter what I'm wearing on my back. It shouldn't matter what I'm wearing. Like, if people want to judge me just because, like, I'm wearing some shoes that, you know, are a little humble, then so be it. Like, those people don't need to associate with me. And quite frankly, I don't want to associate with those people. So I just did like a whole bunch of reflection. Of course, I'm not saying like to dress yourself in rags, you know, like you can still look cute with what you have. And for me right now, also like being 6 months pregnant, maybe that has something to do with it. But yeah, I don't know, you guys. Like, all of those things were just coming up for me today. And the conclusion of this story is that as I was walking out of the store, I heard the associates laughing. And I knew that they were laughing at me. And I didn't even look back. I just, you know, kept on pushing the stroller. And I kept pushing the stroller. And I walked out of the store knowing that, you know, it's just a pair of shoes. There's gonna be a time when, like, I get the pair of shoes and I'm gonna feel excited. And I'm gonna feel like, you know, just good because I'm doing it for myself, you know, like. And so another thing was like, you girls don't understand, you know. And it was really sad to think about like how many people do judge people like me who you know, really just have gone the humble route. And you know, they choose to talk about us and laugh at us, thinking that, you know, thinking that like external things are the only thing that make you a good person, are the only thing that make you a valuable person. No. And I'm just really, I just wanted to share this because like I mentioned before, I did a lot of reflection on my past self, even just like 2 years ago, like just, you know, thinking that a new dress was going to make me feel good. Yeah, sure, it might make me feel nice, but it's only going to make me feel nice for 13 minutes, you know? Because people will see me in that dress and then they will talk to me, and then they would understand like who I really was, you know? Oh, she needed that dress to make herself look nice because she's not really all together inside. You know what I'm saying? And now it's flipped. And I'm so grateful that it has flipped because it feels good to not need anything outside of myself to know that I'm valuable, you know? And so if people want to judge me for that, then like, go ahead, dude. Go ahead. Like, I don't care. That's on you, quite frankly. Like, that's on you. That's you reflecting what you think life is all about. And I don't know. I just don't really want to associate with that. So, I am going to conclude this video because I said what I needed to say. And I'm glad, guys. I'm very excited about this. And it feels good to be back. Hit the notification bell so that way you do know when I post another video. Like I've said, I've been going through a lot of like my own shedding right now. I know that word may sound unappealing, but that's what I'm calling it, because I'm doing some deep dives right now, okay, into my own healing, and I'm going through some stuff right now with me and my mother's relationship. I'm planning on making a video for that, but yeah, so thank you for tuning in, and I will see you guys in the next one. God bless you and enjoy your day or night. Bye.